The Fargo Five, I'm Conrad Fargo. We've got Ebony Kunkle from The Colorful Cookie. Hello, Ebony.
Hello.
We are talking Fargo Fresh. Fargo Fresh is an interesting segment, so I kind of pitch it to you as past, present, future. This will be the future segment. Wasn't always structured that way. We used to do a deep dive into YouTube's algorithm. So I'm a content producer on YouTube, okay?
Very good.
And because of that, they give me access to the back end. And they used to give me deeper access. Now they've replaced it with some stupid AI feature that doesn't work. And I'm very frustrated. But sometimes I can squeeze something out. And I've got something that they want you to talk about.
Oh, sure.
Because I typed in macaron. I typed in the name of that cookie.
You said it right the first time.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Is it just like macaron?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I typed in macaron. Doesn't sound right.
It is right.
Okay. I typed in macaron, and then they spat out two things, and they said, hey, please make this content. So if I make content based on what they've asked for, they are going to boost it to the moon. This video clip is going to go viral to the moon. So this is your chance to be a star if you know anything about this. And you said that your experience in the military, 6 years, but they counted it as 8. 7. Okay, I'm tired. You said that you spent time in Korea.
Yes.
Well, guess what? The internet, YouTube, wants to know about Korean macarons.
Oh.
Is there anything that you know about it? Because
Absolutely not.
apparently there's not any videos about it, but people are searching for it.
That's very strange.
I know in town that there's the Korean dog food truck,
Corn
right?
dog.
Yeah, so there's all these
Those are
like
very good.
Korean spins on things.
Yeah,
When you were over there, you didn't see any kind of a...
No, I didn't. Honestly,
But you weren't a cookie person back then.
No, I'm not a cookie person, like, at all, actually. But, yeah, well, when I was over there, like, sweets really weren't, like, the center of
Yeah.
the culture.
Oh, no.
really.
Yes.
And so,
Well, and that's... And they're different,
Yeah.
Japan and Korea, but yeah, that was kind of what blew my mind. Like, they don't have candy. Their idea of a dessert, there's this thing called anko, which is just like mashed up beans with a little bit
Yeah.
of sugar. And I'm just like, this is not candy.
yeah, it's not so sweet. And if you want it sweet, they'll look at you kind of.
Yeah, I love the American sugar bombs. Okay, one more thing though, because they actually, so this is interesting. I've been trying to get back into the algorithm thing with YouTube. And usually I don't get anything out of it anymore, so I just kind of gave up. But, in case we don't have something to talk about. But this one, they spat at me 2 things they really want us to talk about. This one I know for sure you're going to be able to do. So if you can do it in under a minute,
Sure.
I'm going to make it into a short. And YouTube loves their shorts. So this one's really going to send you to the moon. This is going to
For
be the
sure.
name of the short. Actually, I'm going to name the short right now, and then you're going to go. All right? Are you ready?
All right.
This is, the listeners are just rapt with attention to hear. Top tips for perfecting macarons.
Oh, that's super simple. And so the top tips for perfecting macarons are make a stiff meringue and have proper folding technique, and that is it.
That's it.
That's
But
it.
what's a stiff meringue?
So that's
Lots of alcohol in it?
Well, no. And so the thing about these cookies is, like, everything is so if you look at the recipe, you're gonna get it wrong. You're gonna need somebody to teach you how to do it.
How's that?
Well, everything's very vague with macarons, and so they're
Okay.
like lava consistency. And you're
Lava?
like, what does that even mean? And so everything is just like they say something in a recipe, you have no idea like what it actually means.
The French.
Right? Actually, they're Italian, but we'll get to that
Oh,
later.
really?
Correct. Yes, a stiff meringue and proper folding technique, and that's it. You can get the measurements wrong. You can, mess everything up. But
As long
if
as you
have
get that
if you
meringue
have a
stiff.
Stiff meringue, and if you have proper folding technique, you will get a macaron.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the short right there. So that'll go right to the moon. All right. Now, so I did pitch this as Fargo Famous was the first segment. We talk about your past. Fargo Fun, what's going on now. And then Fargo Fresh, the future. You've got so much going on in the future. I could have had you on any week because you've got, even coming up September 28th, you are attending a cooking class?
No, I'm teaching
You're
one.
teaching it.
Yes, at the 1889 in Fargo.
So people are going to learn how to make a stiff meringue.
No, people are going to learn how to make puff pastry.
Ooh.
And we're going to turn that into a few different items. And
Okay.
so you can get fancy. That's what they said in the Inform article. Gluten-free gets fancy. And so that's
my.
what we're going to do. We're going to get fancy in the kitchen.
Very cool. And this is going to be exactly like the Great British Baking Show, or?
Probably not.
Okay.
It's probably going to be I forgot the name of that show. It's when they mess everything up.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, nailed it. That's what it's called.
Okay, Nailed It is the name of the show.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. And so, yeah, tell us more about that. How did that even come about, and what do you got going on with that?
For sure. I'm not really sure how we got to know each other, but I think I reached out to the 1889 because when they were first opening, because there aren't a lot of options for gluten-free bakers to go commercial unless you're going to build something from the ground up, because the stipulations are so strict as to like the type of equipment you can use, what was it contaminated with prior, things of that nature. And so it was a brand new building. I reached out to them before they even opened, and I was like, hey, just putting it out there, how about having some gluten-free classes? And the owner was like, my husband's celiac, so that's perfect. And so they've been incorporating gluten-free cooking into their classes ever since they opened, and it's been super great, and it's a great option for anybody who's willing to go that route and learn a little bit more in depth about gluten-free cooking.
Are there still seats available? How much? What does it cost? How do you find it? Tell me more about that.
I'm not quite sure on the cost right now. We just need 15 people to sign up for it. I'll have to reach out to them.
So you got to
after
sign
this.
up without knowing what it costs?
No. It hasn't been posted yet,
Okay.
So we're still working out.
Is it going to be like $5, $10, $100? Do you have
I think it's going to be a little bit more on the spendier side,
Okay.
just because the facility needs to recoup their money and things of that nature.
So they're going to go to the cooking class and they're going to make the food as well while
Correct.
they're there? Okay.
Correct.
Wow.
And so I'm going to instruct. You're probably going to fail a little bit, but that's the beauty of, going to a cooking class.
Yeah.
You learn how you can improve in the future.
Very cool. One more time, what kind of foods are you making then?
Sure.
in the class?
We're going to be doing Danish and croissants.
Okay.
And so the gluten-free croissant is kind of, it's a fickle thing, but I'm going to learn to show people how to get those perfect croissants right before Thanksgiving.
What's the flour substitute that you use? Is it?
Sure. I get my flour substitutes from Costco, and it's just the Namaste. A lot of people don't like it, but I've learned to, make it
You work with it. You make it work. It's not the namaste, it's the namasteer.
Yes.
It's the person using it. All right, very cool. Well, that's all the namaste we've got time for. We're going to move to our next segment, Fargo Frequently Asked Questions, right after this break. So don't go nowhere.